Wlbt News starts now with breaking news.
And we begin with breaking news. Jackson police investigating 2 more homicides tonight. Chief investigative reporter CJ LeMaster is live at Jackson Police Headquarters, where police are addressing allegations that a man died as a result of excessive force from a JPD officer. Plus, 3 Interside's Nick Ducote is live in South Jackson, covering the city's 9th homicide of the year. Nick Ducote is on the scene right now with this developing story.
Howard, the Jackson Police Department got a call around 7 o'clock this afternoon to gunshots here at Coronet Place. And if you take a look behind me, this is what the scene currently looks like. When police arrived, they found a white Chevy HHR and a body in it with multiple gunshot wounds. Police say the driver of the white Chevrolet was speeding down the road and was shot several times before running into a tree. JPD says there were 2 cars involved in the shooting. The occupants of the other car got out and checked on the driver of the white Chevrolet. Police say the driver was a 59-year-old white male and are still looking to confirm his identity. The other car was said to be a small white sedan, possibly gold. Police are still trying to confirm that. We'll keep you up to date with this story as it develops out here. But for now, in Jackson, Nick Ducote, 3 on your side.
And we're also learning more about the city's 8th homicide, a man who died at the hands of a Jackson police officer, according to the city's police chief. Chief investigative reporter CJ LeMaster live from JPD headquarters with what we know at this point.
Well, Howard, it's not much. You know, since we've been following the story, actually, since rumblings of excessive force allegations surfaced online from family members of the victim. Now, Police Chief James Davis says that he's actually disclosed new details in George Robinson's death, but a lot of questions tonight remain unanswered. Well, here's what he actually told us in a press conference that ended maybe an hour and a half ago. Officers with the city's K-9 unit, Vice, and Narcotics searched an area around Jones Avenue on Sunday evening and encountered Robinson. Davis says they were there trying to develop leads for other suspects wanted in the death of Pastor Anthony Longino. At some point, these officers charged Robinson with a misdemeanor, but gave him what's called a field release. That's like a citation. And that's where the details end, unfortunately. We do know the aftermath, though. Paramedics rushed Robinson to UMMC sometime after that with head trauma, and the Hinds County coroner tells us he died Monday night. Here's what the chief had to say when we asked him whether the department would release the name of the officer or officers responsible for Robinson's death.
Well, first of all, the officers are not accused of anything. No one had come forward to saying these officers did any wrongdoing. The city took upon themselves in the police department to start the investigation just because of the conversation. You know, we're here to save lives and to protect lives, not to take lives.
Now, Davis's words, come hours after Jackson Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba released this statement. Quote, the city of Jackson has been made aware of the death of a citizen after a field release arrest made by JPD. While no one has come forward and no complaint has been made at this time, we believe that the circumstances are serious enough to warrant a thorough investigation. Now, again, Chief Davis says the officers haven't been accused of anything, but he did admit that Robinson's death was due to at least one officer he did not name. So we'll likely learn in the coming days whether or not those officers' actions were justified. Meantime, Hinds County Coroner Sharon Grisham Stewart hopes to have autopsy results sometime next week. Reporting live in Jackson, CJ LeMaster, 3 on your side.
And police now identifying the man shot and killed this morning in Jackson. 25-year-old Christopher Collins was found in the street at the corner of Robinson Street and Green Avenue. That was around 7:30 this morning. Residents in the area telling police they heard several shots, and just minutes before the victim was found, a car believed to be a Nissan was seen leaving the area moments later. State and city leaders, as well as citizens, all voicing concerns about the spike in violent crime. The majority of this year's murders have happened in Precinct 2. Jackson's Ward 3 Councilman Kenneth Stokes speaking out against an offer from Governor Phil Bryant to help the city fight violent crime. Stokes says he believes a commuter tax and toll roads will be one way to raise funds to bolster the police force.
Most of the people doing the killing, they are what I consider state inmates. They are out on probation, where the state is not trying to monitor where they are, where they going. Some of them not even reporting. Some of them on dope. Some of them even got ankle bracelets. But the state is not doing anything.
Adding more officers to the force could be part of the solution to lower the murder rate. Right now, Jackson police are about 70 officers short. They have 350 on the street, but they are budgeted for 418. All right, switching gears now. A little warmer today, but folks, don't get used to it. You know, big changes still expected this weekend. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Dave Roberts here. We have an alert day coming up, right?
That's right, Saturday, Sunday, as well as Monday, because we've got all kinds of changing weather that's about to happen across our area. Alert days are in effect, as I mentioned, for the upcoming weekend, so keep that in mind. We are tracking a storm system that will send a chance for thunderstorms in our direction. Those will be through the area most likely by early afternoon come Saturday, but until then, this is what we're expecting. By daybreak on Saturday, this line of storms will be advancing across the Mississippi River, and again into the afternoon, that line of storms will continue off to the east here as it moves through the eastern portions of our state. The other thing to tell you is it's going to be cold enough behind it where we're probably going to get some snow developing from Little Rock to Memphis to Nashville. That will clip portions of North Mississippi, maybe a couple of flurries this far south, but if you're going up to Memphis, a few inches of snow could be on the ground there come Sunday morning, so be on alert for that. For here, it's about the severe weather threat, which will be highest to the east, but again, we're under a very low and severe threat nonetheless come Saturday. We'll talk about that. We'll talk more specifically about the cold air that's heading our way for the second half of the weekend. Your full forecast in a few minutes.
New at 10, a teenager is behind bars tonight after driving into a school bus in Brookhaven. Brookhaven Police Chief Kenneth Collins tells 3 on your side a Mercury Grand Marquis driven by a 15-year-old at a high rate of speed lost control and hit the bus on the driver's side, and that was at the intersection of Union and Ingram Streets. The bus was carrying about 28 children home after school, and no one was injured. Police say the driver later ran from the scene of the accident. Residents telling us the teen tried to force his way into someone's home but was unsuccessful, then surrendered to police.
I just kind of walked to the back, and because I saw the lights everywhere, and we met eye to eye, and it scared me. He took a deep breath, and I took a deep breath, and he just threw his hands up. I mean, and I didn't know what to do. I mean, I was just worried about my children. I'm thinking there's children off the bus running, but there wasn't. But it was whoever the guys were. But one of them was trying to get in my back door.
Now, Chief Collins tells us he does not expect to charge the 2 18-year-old passengers. Charges against the 15-year-old are pending tonight. And just in tonight, we now know the name of the woman killed in a car crash in Lincoln County yesterday. Coroner Clay McMorris confirmed 67-year-old Karen Adams of Brookhaven died at King's Daughter Medical Center from injuries suffered in a collision with a pickup truck, and that occurred on Highway 84. The people in the truck, a man, his wife, and son, were treated for minor injuries. Brookhaven Police Chief Kenneth Collins says he does not expect charges to be filed. Hinds County deputies bust a long-time burglary operation today. Several days of investigating leading to a home on Lake Road. That's where deputies recovered coins, trailers, rifles, ammo, and more. Estimated value, $300,000. One person was arrested last night, and investigators have identified 2 others. Sheriff Victor Mason says the suspects would case homes and then break in while residents were at work.
They were scanning people's homes, waiting until they would go to work, and they were using these trailers to haul a lot of this stuff back. So it was well planned, but it didn't work.
All the burglary victims have been notified about the recovery of their items. New at 10, Webster County Sheriff Tim Mitchell is out of jail tonight after pleading not guilty to each of his 12 felony charges. After his arraignment this morning, Mitchell is out on bond, but with conditions. Mitchell will be under house arrest, electronically monitored with an ankle bracelet, and he is not allowed to talk with the Webster County Sheriff's Office or conduct any sheriff duties. A trial date is set for June 24th. Mitchell's charges include embezzlement, trafficking stolen firearms, and sexual acts with an inmate. Mississippi's no stranger to accepting federal dollars for various programs, but Medicaid expansion has been a point of contention between Democrats and Republicans since it first became an option. Well, today the Legislative Democratic Caucus said they are seeing the ice break with their Republican counterparts. It's likely a term you've heard but may not know what the impact would be. Democrats say one impact has been hospitals struggling financially and some being forced to close.
All comes down to people living in those areas, and I'm talking about people who are working every day. People who are working every day don't have any coverage, and so when they're sick or when they need treatment, they can't afford to go to the hospital, and if they go and the hospital treats them, more importantly, the hospital bears that cost and nobody's paying for it.
Governor Bryan told us last week that he opposes the idea, citing the federal judge who ruled Obamacare unconstitutional. But some other Republicans have started saying publicly they're open to some form of expansion.
Senator Roger Wicker takes the gavel for an important Senate committee. How he says his new chairmanship will help the Magnolia State.
Plus, vandals take their vehicles to Hemp Hill Park and do destructive donuts, posting the damage on social media. Florence police are looking for them tonight.
Faster speed, better video.